Good afternoon, family and friends, and welcome to Sweeney's Creek Kitchen. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to decorate a cake. I'll just give you a quick rundown on how I do it. I will leave some recipes below if you're interested. I've prepared this cake earlier, and as you can see, it's a rainbow cake. So we're doing a 6-layer rainbow cake. You can use whatever cake that you like. I've just used one of my standard recipes. As you can see, we've got a little bit of equipment. If you don't have all of this, don't worry, just have a look around the house and see what might suit. What we do have is we have the board, obviously, for the cake to go on. I have a turntable. I have some offset spatulas, a sharp serrated knife, a ruler, a smoothing spatula, some gel colours, a piping bag, some white chocolate ganache, and the frosting. So what we do first off is we get the cakes onto the board and we put the frosting on. So we'll start to do that. What I like to do is just use a little bit of the white chocolate ganache and put it on the base. And that will act as a little bit of a glue to stick these cakes on. Now this cake, we're starting with the red and going up. What I like to do is just use the ruler to see that I've got it somewhat centre. And that looks pretty good. What I'm now going to do is put a little bit of the frosting on here, and then we're going to stack them. One little tip when you're using a spatula is don't put it down and pull it up, because what you'll do is you'll actually pull the crumbs up into your frosting. So if you want to keep your frosting clean, just use your wrist and don't lift up. As you can see, just don't pull up like that. And all we're doing, just using the royal wave, and we're just spreading that out to the side. You can have it as thick or as thin as you like. Now to get this level, what I do is I just rest this against my body and just and that will give you a somewhat level. And as you can see, it has actually moved on the board, so I'm just going to put that back. Then you just keep layering and layering. What I will show you is, if you're wondering how to cut these cakes so level, a little trick is when you have your cake, you get a serrated knife. Again, hold it against your body and just spin the cake around as you're coming into the middle of the cake. And that will give you a somewhat even cake to actually do. So as you can see, it's pretty even. So we're just going to start stacking them. Try and get it level. And put some more frosting on. When you get to the top, obviously we've been stacking the layers like that. We're going to use the flat base for the top here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this and see if I've got everything as well as I can. So I'm just going to scrape off a bit of this excess frosting. So here we have the layer cake. Now you can use the frosting to go around the outside, but what I like to do is actually seal it with the ganache. The ganache is just a combination of cream and white chocolate. So I just pour that over, and what I find it does is it stops any of the crumbs coming out into your frosting layer on the top. So I'm just going to pour that over. Start with a little bit and just push that over the edge. And as it falls down, going to give that a coat. So I'm going to do that all over the cake, and then I'm just going to pop it in the fridge just so it sets up, and I'll show you the result then. As you can see, this has come out of the fridge. It is sealed. Hopefully there'll be no crumbs that come out. This is not to get it straight up and down. Obviously it's just to seal the cake. The next step is to put the frosting on the outside and try and get it as smooth as we can. So we'll just put a little bit on the top. And again, just reminding you not to try and lift this. So we're just going to put a little bit on the top. The top's pretty good, so I don't want too much. This is a lot of sugar. And then we'll just get some on the sides. What we're trying to do is get a layer of this on. It doesn't have to be too thick. And then we'll smooth it out. As you can see, I've just got this layer on, and it's pretty rough. So if you want it like that, that's fine, but this is not going to be one of those cakes. So I'm just going to take this, it's got a square. So what I'm going to do is just put that on the bottom, just keeping it flat with the base of the cake. We're just going to go around that, and what I'll do is where there's gaps, I'll get some of this and fill. And we'll just keep going around this cake until it's smooth. As you can see, I've got this nice and smooth as I can, and I've put it in the fridge. And what I've done is I've grabbed a ruler and I've just put that across the top so I can get 6 sections. It's just a bit of a template so I know where to put the drip. I've made up some ganache, white chocolate ganache, and I've just put a bit of colouring in it. I'm going to start with the yellow. If you don't have a piping bag, I'm just going to show you a quick trick on how to make these bags. You get some baking paper and you fold it like that. I just have a ruler here just to cut a straight line. I get a blade. You which isn't very sharp, and cut that. Then I open that up, and you're cutting that into a triangle. So now you have two. And as you can see, what we're doing is we're folding this one in on itself and putting it up to that point, and then folding that one in and getting that up to a point. And to make that stay there, I'm just going to then fold that over itself so it looks like this one here. And unfortunately I've got to face that towards me because it's a little hard doing it towards the camera. As you can see, that holds itself. And you've got a little piping bag, and you can just snip off the end. Not too much, to make a little hole in the end. Just put all this aside, grab the cake. And what I'm going to do is pour the yellow ganache into this, and then I'm going to do some test strips to see if it works. And as you can see, I'm just going to squeeze that on here. And see if it runs. Now, as you can see, that's not running at all. So the cake is cold and the ganache is a little bit too set. So I might just heat that up a little bit and try again. Just put this in the microwave for a few seconds, and I'm just going to try again. And as you can see, that is dripping down a lot better. I'm just going to fill in the top. What I've done is I've just put a little bit more just here so it drips down a little bit further. As you can see, it's dripping down. You can have these as long or as short as you like. You can make it go all the way to the bottom, and I might do that in certain areas. So I just have to do that with all the colours now. There you have the drips all ready on the cake. I'm just going to pop this back in the fridge. There is a few other bits and pieces to go on top of this cake. The party is for this young boy is tomorrow, so I might actually just leave this in the fridge overnight. I'll bring it out first thing in the morning and then I'll decorate it. It has a few items on top that just can't get the moisture from the fridge, so I'll pop it back in and we'll go from there. It's the next day and I've just got this cake out of the fridge. As you can see, it's turned out okay. I always take this out of the fridge a couple of hours before the event, only because cold cake tends to get a little bit hard and you want to return that to room temperature. So as you can see, we've got a few decorations here to put on this cake. This young boy is 11, which is my lucky number, so hopefully this goes well. This is just personal choice as to how you decorate. There's no right or wrong way to decorate this. Just put it in, see what it looks like, and if you're not happy, you can redo things. I've kept a little bit of my ganache just in case I put a hole somewhere and I want to cover that hole up, but we're just going to put these in randomly, which I don't do very well, but we'll see how it goes. One word of advice or one word of warning is that if you're using gel colours, not to leave them in reach of your dog. We now have a doggy bed that is now rainbow coloured. And she has destroyed every single one of my gel colours. So, word of warning, just make sure you put them in a safe place. Let's get on to this. I'm just looking for what I think is the nicest view. And I actually like the fact that these orange ones and yellow ones have dribbled down a little bit further. So I think I might actually use orange at the front. So as you can see, like that. So I think that looks the best. So you're not going to be able to see this from your point of view, but I'll show you from my point of view when we're finished. So I'm just going to stand back and see if I like that. And there's a lot of rainbows. So as you can see, it's your choice how you do that. I've used as much as I can without over complicating things. So there you have it. A rainbow drip cake with a rainbow layer cake inside, and I can't wait for him to see it. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to see any more of these tutorials, just drop a comment below and I'll see what I can do. I do have a wedding cake coming up in a few weeks, so fingers crossed that goes well. Don't forget to hit the like button if you've enjoyed this content, and hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and join the family. Thanks guys, and have a great day. I've got a little bit of a mess to clean up now. Bye.